I figured I owe you an explanation. So I'm filming this video quickly at home. In half an hour I'm going to the studio to finish the last song of my EP. Yeah! This is how I ended up on a Chinese music show watched by millions of people. So remember in January, I think it was, in the USA there was a TikTok ban almost about to happen. What everyone did was they went to a Chinese platform called Red.o, because they thought TikTok was gonna get banned. So they went on that platform. And normally I'm really late with trends because I'm kind of a boomer. But this time I figured I should probably hop on the trend early. So I did. I made a Red.o account. And then I started posting, and the first couple posts immediately went pretty well. And I had a lot of comments from Chinese people saying that they really liked my music. Hundreds of comments. They were so nice. Everything was so positive. So I immediately tried to get all my music on Chinese distribution platforms so the Chinese people could also listen to my music. That went on for a while, and I just kind of kept on posting. And then suddenly I got a DM from someone. I'll show it here. They basically asked me to perform in their show by Tencent. First, I thought it was a scam. I knew Tencent because, like, I'm a gamer. So I knew it was like this huge company. What do you expect? Like, I didn't believe it. But I went on with it anyway. I was like, let's try to see where it's gonna go. I knew some people here in the Netherlands that are familiar with China and stuff. So I showed them the account that DM'd me. And they told me, like, girl, this is real. This is like actually the real Tencent. So then it kind of changed for me. I took it more serious. We talk more on WeChat, which is just like a Chinese version of WhatsApp. And I had to do a couple auditions online through a Zoom call. The first audition was here at this table. You don't see the table, but there's a table here. They asked me to play a couple songs. One of them I played I Don't Know How to Be Fun, which was my own song because they asked me to. And the other song was Creep by Radiohead, because I really like singing that song. I also do it in my live sets. What was interesting about it is I tried to apply for some Dutch television shows, but mostly they want you to cover songs. And they don't really go into deep questions about your artist personality and why you make music and that kind of stuff. And these guys, they were asking me all kinds of things about like how I write songs, what the meaning is behind the song that I was singing, and why I wrote it, which was pretty interesting to me as a songwriter to explain. They wanted to know more about me as an artist, so the questions that they asked were about my personality, what I thought my voice was like. I had to ask some of my friends how they would describe my voice in a couple words, how they would describe me as an artist. They wanted to know more about my history, about why I write songs and how I do it. So it was kind of deep, which was for me really interesting to see from a TV show. And then finally I had the final auditions, which were at like 4 a.m. for me. So I had to be in my studio at 4 a.m. and I was like this. I was so tired, but I did it. And the last one was for the screenwriter and the director of the show. I was actually really nervous and I kind of messed it up, but I don't think they noticed. So I sang my own song again, and then I did a translation of a Chinese song called Summer in a Small Town. I will post a cover from that on Red.o later. But yeah, I think they really liked that because I wanted to show how I write. You know, it was a Chinese song, so I got to rewrite the lyrics in English and make it work, which was pretty hard because Chinese has a lot more vowels. And then a couple days I didn't hear anything from them. And then I got a call, and it was basically like, congratulations. When can you come to Beijing? And apparently, like, the show was gonna be in a couple weeks. So I had to be really fast with booking the trip and getting hotels and getting, like, money together to even make the trip. But I didn't doubt for, like, 1 second. Because for me, when things come on my path, I feel like they come on my path for a reason. And then I have to do it. I'm very much like I'm a Sagittarius, you know, so I easily change plans. I'll do anything last minute. So this was one of them. So I went. So on April 4th, I flew to Beijing and I had a little bit of time because I wanted to, get that jet lag away from me. So we had time to like explore a little bit, and then I went to Shanghai because I knew a producer there and we hung out a little bit, and Shanghai was just such a cool city to be in. But I made vlogs on my second channel, which is called More of Wendy, where you can see me explore all the cities and stuff. So I'll keep this story about the actual show. So after Shanghai, we went back. And I got a little bit sick, so that kind of sucked. Like my throat was swelling up, but I had to go. So we went to Beijing on the 8th, and then at 11, I got a call. You can't have the red streaks in your hair. So at like 11 p.m., I had to go to a hairdresser to change my hair back to black. But again, like, I don't really care. It's just hair. So I didn't really think about it. I just went. But yeah, that's a pretty funny story. And then on the 9th, I had the recordings, and I came there at like 2 in the afternoon, and there was like this huge line. I still didn't really know much about the show. I just went. I didn't really get much information about the show at all. But then eventually I saw it popping up on Red Note, and I saw that a lot of people in a lot of different Chinese cities were also doing auditions physically, and I saw like thousands of Chinese people trying to get in. And then also I saw on Red Note that there were like 6 million posts about it. And that was only on Red Note because they have a lot of other platforms. So I was like, oh my god, this is like huge. And so many people tried to get in, and somehow I got in. So there were like a couple hundred people standing outside because they were still doing the last auditions on the side of the venue. And then on the right, there was like a path, and they took me there. I didn't count, but I think like 30 contestants that already made it through, like me. And we had to wait outside for a bit, and I got to chat. I was really scared that no one would speak English, but the younger generation of Chinese people really speak good English, so I had a good time communicating with them, and they were so nice and so talented. Oh my god. So I didn't feel out of place at any moment. Also, the staff, man, I want to say thank you again to the staff. The staff was insanely nice. They made me feel at home. And whenever they saw me struggle a little bit, they immediately came to help. They were so incredibly nice to me. They tried everything to make me feel good. Then after a couple hours, we went inside, and I already thought we were going to record, but we still had to wait. So by this time, we were waiting for like 8 hours or something. But thankfully I had a guitar. We made a little circle and we just sang songs for a couple of hours. There were already cameras in there. They were filming us. I don't know when the broadcast is gonna come out, but I can't tell you much about what happened in there because I'm not allowed. I think only when the broadcast happened. I think I can tell you who the juries are if you guys are familiar with Chinese celebrities, because I think they released it now on Red Note. So these are the juries. The guys that did the interviews were idols. But I remember him being very shy in the interview because he thought his English wasn't good enough. But I kept telling him, like, I'm not English either, I'm Dutch. So don't worry about making mistakes around me because I'm not English anyway. But I don't think it made him feel better. He was very shy, very cute. Again, I can't really tell you everything, but I think you can compare it a little bit to X Factor. Like the look. You know, like the first auditions on X Factor, that's kind of what it looked like. I'm not going into detail right now, but they were very excited and they were very positive. One of the comments was that they really liked the way I wrote my song. So for the recordings, I sang one of my own songs because they asked me to, which was really cool. I sang Hell on Earth. It's this song. Thought that I was in Eden, turns out you were hell on earth. Anyway, we finished recording around 12 a.m. So midnight. I was really tired, but it was such a cool experience to do. And then the aftermath was that I stayed in China for a little bit longer. Then I went back home and I got asked to be on TV on Hart van Nederland, which is a pretty huge program here, to talk about it. So you can watch that if you're Dutch. It's online. To finish this story off, I got a message around the 20th of April that I didn't make it, but they thought I was really unique and there can be more opportunities. And then I saw on Red Note that the contestants had to live stream on location for 3 days in Chinese, which of course would have never been possible for me to do. So I'm not entirely sure why I got asked to be in the show if that wasn't possible anyway. but I'm still very happy I went. Maybe there was a format change. Maybe they decided later that they wanted to do something else with the show. Totally fine. I had a really cool experience and it's really cool to tell you guys. I hope we can share some videos soon, but for now, this was the story how I ended up on a Chinese music show and flew all the way across the world without speaking the language to let music speak for me. This is why I love music, guys. I am from a village with like 15,000 people. There's not many people in my village, right? I'm from a very small town here in the Netherlands. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Okay? So believe in yourself. I can't wait to see what the future will hold. I will keep posting on that note as well. So I hope I will be back in China soon. Thank you so much for watching. And the single is gonna come out soon. So I hope you will like that song. See you guys later. Bye. It must have meaning.